Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I'm going to show Cricut people how to use a file that I have for free over on my website to make this really cute card. And I'm going to show you how you can change up the sentiment that's in here because maybe you don't want it to say you've got a friend, you want it to say something else. So follow me down here to my computer and let's get started. Okay, here's the card that's already ready to go. I'm going to bring it in new though so you can see how to use the card that I have for free for you. So let's delete this and I'm going to go to upload and you'll see it's already here, but pretend it's not. Upload an image, browse, and this is after you bring it home, bring it to your computer for yourself to use. And it's in my downloads, I think. Okay, here it is. It comes in as an SVG. When you download this from my website, there'll be two of them. There'll be one that says it's for Cricut, and then there'll be one that says it's for Silhouette. So make sure you get the Cricut one. So we're going to click on that and bring it in. Here it is right here. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but look right here. This is the image name. It says the width is 5.5. So you have to make sure that you make the width of this thing before you do any ungrouping 5.5. And I'll show you. So let's go to save. And now we can just go ahead and insert it. And it comes in really tiny. Look up here at the sizes. It's 1.94 inches wide. And we need to make sure that the lock is locked. And we're going to change it to 5.5 inches wide. Okay, that's perfect. Now there's something else that we're going to have to do because if we just go to make it right like this, let me show you what happens. So we have the regular outside of the envelope, which is fine, but then we have this part that's supposed to have the sentiment on it, and it isn't. It's over here on the black piece. Can you see it right there? So we've got to cancel this and just go back, and we're going to ungroup it. I can right click and ungroup, or I can just click on this and come up here to where it says ungroup. Alright, and now it's ungrouped, so we have this, but it's still not right yet, because if I still go to make it, it's still not on the white piece that we need it to be on. So let's cancel it again. And before I do anything else, I'm going to duplicate this so I have an extra one to show you something. So I'm going to hit duplicate up here. Okay, now I have two of them. This one we'll put off to the side. This is the one we're going to work on right now. And you probably already know, if I want to change this right now, if you look over here at the layers panel, these pieces are cut. And that, here they are here highlighted, and that's not what we want. We don't want them to cut. We want this to be a print then cut. So to change this to a print then cut, all we have to do is say flatten. And then here it is up here. It's now a cut and print or print then cut. And if we do go over to make it, you'll notice that the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to print this on your printer, and then it's going to cut. So let's cancel that again. And this one's finished like this. And you may be wondering, well, how can I tell what's going to cut on this for sure? You really can't, right? But remember that trick I show all the time. All you have to do is come down here to the blank canvas. And actually, I want you to notice the difference between these two. This one is all cut files if you look over here in the layers panel. And this one is the print then cut. And you'd kind of almost think that this one would cut around this box. But let's go and make this and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to group all of this. I right-clicked and grouped. Or you can come up here and group. And I'm going to hide that whole group so that all we have are these two things here. Let's go to make it and see what happens. Okay, that one worked well, and this one is still not right. But let's go back here one more time. And I want to show you that trick in case you do wonder what in the world is going to print and what in the world is going to cut. So remember, the trick is to come down here to the blank canvas, click on that. And once you click on that, it doesn't look like anything happens. You can't change the color right here. But if you come all the way up to the top, you'll notice where it says color, and there's a little box underneath of it. You can click on that little box and get some other colors to come up. And now you can see what's going to print then cut. So if I ungroup this because it was grouped together, now you can see what's going to happen really with this one is this box is going to cut and this is going to cut. Now this one I can't ungroup because it's been flattened. It is not something that can ungroup. The only thing that's going to happen is it's going to print and then cut this. This one, if you sent it, even though it looks perfect, it is not, because these are two separate pieces. Let's look one more time. If we go to make it, we have the one that we flattened here, and then we have this box, and then we have the text that's going to also cut out. Okay, let's cancel that. So I said I was going to show you how to make another sentiment in case you wanted something else in this card. So let's get rid of this one for now and get this one. And let's see, what should I do? Can I ungroup this? Yes. So maybe I can grab these few things. Let's see. Ungroup. I'm afraid. So that has all been welded together, I think. So we really can't ungroup that. We could use the slice tool and slice this out. Why not just make our own thing? So we can get rid of these two. So maybe I just wanted to say happy birthday. So I come over to the text tool. I'll type in happy. And I'm going to come over to the text tool again because I want these on two separate layers. Okay. And I spelled birthday wrong. B-R-T-H, whoops, double click to get it back, B-I-R-T-H-D, A-Y, there we go. All right, so let's see, what shall we do? Let's click on this one first and come up here and change the font to maybe Samantha. That's a font that I really like to use, especially the Samantha Craft font. It's not free, but it has fabulous stuff that goes with it, as I've shown you, especially easy to use over in Silhouette software for Cricut. Well, let's just use this, and there it is. It comes in like that. And of course, as you know, we need to go to the letter spacing to fix that so they're touching. Okay, that looks pretty good. See if it's going to fit up in here. Yeah, that fits pretty well. Okay. And then I can come to the word birthday and maybe change that to a different font. Let's see, maybe we'll just do, let's see, what do we got? Get rid of Samantha up here because that's what's messing me up. And I don't think this is one that I really like, this one called A Child's Year, but let's try it to see. Oh yeah, that's cute. Okay, I like that. Happy birthday. And we can put that right up here like this. And I actually kind of like that. I really like that. So then if we want to tie it in with the other pieces that we have, we could add a heart and make it, resize it tiny, and maybe put one here and rotate it a little bit like that. And then I can duplicate it by coming up here on the upper right hand corner and click duplicate, and then bring another one over here and rotate it, and that looks really cute. So now if I wanted to, what I could do is I could click on this one, hold down my shift key and click on the other heart, and then come up here to align, and I like to align bottom so that they're really in line with each other. Now the other thing that I might want to do is I might want to change those to red so they tie in with the colors, like that. Okay, so now here's the problem. If we go to make this just as it is, look at all of this stuff over here. These are all cut files. How do I change this whole thing so it's not a cut? All of these things get grouped together. I could group them, but that's still going to be all cut files. So what do I need to do? I need to flatten them. Watch what happens over here in the layers panel when I flatten these. Perfect, just like that. And now if we go to make it, we've got a brand new sentiment card, and it's going to cut it out just like that. Cancel. And I can't recall, let's see. Of course, we could reshape this. It doesn't have to be a square that it's going to cut out, but it works out nicely in the card that I've made that you'll be seeing and me make momentarily. So, let's see. So this is going to go on top of this, but there was also a black piece there and another black piece there. Isn't this cute? And then we also had the white piece there that is the whole card. The only other thing that you will need to do in Cricut Design Space is you see this card back here. Let's see if I can just grab the card. Ungroup all of this. And grab the card. Notice this line right here. If you look over here in the layers panel, look what it's going to do. It's going to be a cut line. You don't want your card to cut in half like that. So all you have to do is change the cut right here. I'm not sure why it went flying. Change this cut to a score line. And notice what happened. And of course, because it is a score line, we know what we have to do next, because watch, if I don't do this next part, look what's going to happen. When I go to make it, I've got this print and cut. It's beautiful. I've got the score line and it's on its separate sheet, just like this. You see it there hidden right up here? And then here's the rectangle. So to fix that, we'll just go to cancel. And when our rectangle with the score line comes back in, we'll grab both of it and we'll say attach. And that's going to attach it exactly where I want it to be. So now if we go to make it, we have our print then cut. Then we have the rectangle that's going to cut with the score line right there. And we have the two shaped cards pieces cutting here. And this red piece with the hearts cut out here. So I'm going to go ahead and make it. I'm going to cut these out. I'm cutting them out of cardstock. And I'll be back to show you putting it together. Before I go, I do want to show you in Silhouette very quickly. If you have Silhouette Cameo, all you have to do is this. For the You've Got a Friend sentiment, you're going to put that on a piece of cardstock, and you're going to make sure you come to the page setup area here, and you're going to turn on your registration marks for Cameo. So my type is a Cameo, type 1. And that puts this crosshatch here and these registration marks. This square and these lines here will be printed on my printer when I send this. And then when I put it in the Cricut machine or the Cameo, it's going to read these lines and know where to cut this. So now what I would do is I would just come up here to File, Print, and for preferences, I would make it to best. I like mine to be the best quality it can be. Then I'll just print it. But I'm not going to, oh, then let me tell you this. After you've done that, you go to Send, and it does this one. Then what you need to do, and notice it's just going to cut the outer edge here. You're going to go back to Design, And I like to come back here and take this off, and then I'm going to remove my registration marks because I don't need those on there anymore, because now I'm just going to cut these. Now this one right here, let's go to send. It's going to cut this outer edge perfectly, and then it's going to score the middle. But of course you don't need to do that if you're making a regular A2 card, and I'll show you that in just a moment as well. So let's go back to design, and then I could bring over all of these, and I can just tell it to send, and I can come over here by fill. So first what I have checked is the black. So all it's going to do is cut the black, even though this red is here. After the black is cut, I can uncheck that and tell it to cut the red, and that's all that will cut. Okay, so as I said, I'm cutting these out, and I'm going to assemble it here for you. Okay, I have all the pieces cut out and I'm ready to put them together. This is my prototype. This is what I was going to make. Now, what I did make for you also was I made a label or a sentiment card sheet that will come in the zip file that you'll get to if you go to my website. So I made some that say different things so that depending on what you want to put on your card, and I just made one with blue in case you wanted to make blue. Of course you can change it over in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to change one. I'm going to make this one be a thanks one. So I'll get rid of all of these. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I get out my little cutter here, and I'm not sure how much of this you'll be able to see, but rather than cutting my cardstock on my Cricut, I'm just going to cut a full sheet of cardstock with this cutter. So all I have to do is to make this be at the 5.5 mark on my cutter, and that will make it perfect. Just cut it like that. So then I have two cards made just like that that are ready to go. And if I want to, what I could do is use this for a scoring tool, this place right here. But sometimes mine seems like it's just a tiny bit off. So I'm just going to fold it in half myself. I'm just going to match up the two edges and fold it. And of course, if I had a bone folder, oh, I do have one right here, I could use a bone folder to get a really nice crease on this so it looks super duper. Okay. And so the next thing I'll do then is I'll start assembling the card. So this piece goes on first, and then this will go with this, and I'm going to pop dot it up because I like the way it looks standing up like that. So a lot of times people like to just use the glitter glue or any kind of a wet glue. Oftentimes what I like to use is my ATG gun. This is a really old one. I'll have a link to a newer version of it down below in case you're interested in getting one. This one, the tape is almost at the end, so I might have just a tiny bit of trouble with it. But I just love how clean it is. I have a tendency to make a mess with glue. I just put one down the middle like that. So I can put this on here. Let's make sure the opening is in the right place. Yes. And I'm just going to eyeball this. And if I get it on here incorrectly, the nice thing about this tape is that you can take it off and rearrange it. But that looks pretty good like that. So the next one that I'll put on will be this one. I love this card. I think it's so cute and versatile. You know, if you wanted to in Cricut Design Space and you didn't want these hearts on here, I'm sure you could contour them out. Suppose you're making this for a guy and you don't want little hearts on it. Imagine you could do that. So again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and if I don't like it, which I don't, I can change it. I should stand up. Okay, that's good enough. There we go. Okay, for this last one now, what I did was I taped this onto here. And again, you'll have about 5 or 6 different sentiments that you can choose from. And then the thing I like to do is I like to pop dot stuff up because I think the added dimension really adds a lot. This is just something that I get at the Dollar Tree. If you don't have a Dollar Tree and you want to get a bunch of stuff, I do have a link for it below. You could shop and have stuff sent directly to you or even to your store and pick it up there if you hate to shop like I do. And of course, there'd be no delivery charge. You pick it up in your store. It just saves you a lot of time. You don't have time to run around through the Dollar Tree. So I just put quite a few of these on here because I really like it to pop up. Probably a little more than what I actually need, but that's all right. So they're stuck on here like this, and then all I have to do is peel off this backing part. And while I'm peeling this off, let me tell you that I do have this file for free for you on my website. If you go to pattyannsplace.blog and go to the library, there are lots of free files in there. You will have to sign up for the newsletter to get the secret code word. But once you have it, you have it. So I think that turned out super cute. And as I always say, I love to use these envelopes that I just get from Staples. They're perfectly sized for these A2 size cards. I don't like to make my own envelopes. I don't like to use my cardstock for that. But here's the envelope, the way they come. And this would just fit perfectly in here like this. And I think that this is a super card. And you know what? This card will go great in those little boxes that we've been making. You know, the little stationery box. And I'll have a link for that up above this video to show you how to make this box, because they make perfect gifts to give away for Christmas or any time like that. And they hold 6 cards and 6 envelopes and note tags and stamps and a pen. So they're perfect for that. Nice little gift if you know somebody who likes to give away, or likes to send out, I should say, greeting cards. So I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And remember, on my website, you will have the file that you need, whether you use a Silhouette or a Cricut. Make sure you get the correct file. And then you'll also get another file so that you can have some of these other sentiments in case you want to change yours to say something else. So, let's get the last one out again. So that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you check out some of my links below. Join us on our Facebook page. I have a Patreon page for Cricut things strictly for $1 a month, or I have a $5 a month class for Silhouette software users, whether you be Cricut users or Cameo users. It's just $5 a month, and you get 4 or 5 hour-long classes every Saturday, and they're really, really in-depth, helpful classes. I wish you would check them out. I think you'd be really happy. So again, thanks for joining me, you guys. See you again soon. Bye-bye.